taxation system isn't just about administrative or fiscal matters, it's also about justice. Are they fair? Do they contribute to the common good? And there's a curious aspect of the UK tax system that in an oddly powerful way raises all sorts of ethical issues about the food system. A brief history lesson first. It's 1940 and Britain is at war, surrounded by an enemy blockade, a 20th century siege. And in those days, we imported 70% of our food. The government imposed something called purchase tax, now called VAT, VAT, on just about everything except essentials. And of course, nutritious food is an essential. Then, as now, nutritious food carries 0% tax. What's interesting about that system is the exemptions to that 0% tax. Watch this brief video about the matter and see what you make of it. Notice the exemptions to that 0% VAT. They are the drug foods, sugar, caffeine, chocolate, alcohol, savoury snacks, which are designed to be Moorish, to have the same physiological response as the other pleasure drugs. These products do us harm. Think of diet-related morbidities and the costs of tackling those morbidities that are crippling national and local economies. They don't just harm human health, they also harm planetary health too. Think of packaging. One city, Birmingham, has to dispose of 100 million cans and bottles from a single company alone. They also use up the increasingly scarce agri-food natural resources of land, soil, water, and energy. Take water, for example. By 2025, it's been estimated by the United Nations that 1.8 billion people will be living with absolute water scarcity, and that a further 2/3 of us will be living in water-stressed regions, and that includes the southeast of England already. Compare that to some figures from 2012, which estimated that Coca-Cola's annual global water consumption was more than that for the daily needs of over 2 billion people. Think too of the difference between how we treat smokers with their addiction and people with obesity for theirs. With smokers, we offer them support and we take action against tobacco companies. University research with tobacco companies is prohibited. We prohibit advertising and sponsorship and other forms of promotion. We also impose a tax, excise duty, on their products, so they cost an awful lot more. I'd like to end with a quotation from some words of ours that were published in the BMJ very recently. They're these, let me quote. As John Norton eloquently describes, we can regard corporations as artificial superintelligences, thus amoral rather than immoral entities, blindly seeking to extend their power and reach, indifferent to human and planetary interests. Our urgent challenge is to speak truth to this truly sociopathic power and act both individually and collectively against it. And if doctors won't act, then who will?